Hello viewers, another beautiful day. Yeah, hope your five senses work, health and strength is good or excellent. What? Okay, we got another handheld to the market, but it's ARM based. Listen to this. It says here Linux support for another 230 ARM handheld game console. There's been no shortage of cheap ARM based handhelds game console coming to the market. Given Linux on ARM tending to work better than Windows and in keeping vendor costs a minimum, they have tended to be running Linux or Android with various open source game emulators. Many of the vendors have kept their Linux support downstream, while with time more of these gaming handheld consoles are seeing mainline Linux support. Yet another one being worked on for mainline Linux support is the Gameforce Ace. The Gameforce Ace is a 230 handheld gaming device using a ROC chip RK3588S SoC with 4 Cortex A76 core and a 4 Cortex A55 core. While having the Mali G610 GPU, the handheld is equipped with 8 gigs of LPDDR4 memory and a 128 gigs of eMMC storage, along with a TF card slot, the M.2 NVMe support. This unit has a 5.5 inch 1080 IPS display for $270. Is also a model with 12 gigs of RAM. More details on the Gameforce Ace for these interested can be funded at gameforce.fun. Out of the box, this device is running Android. Their set a patch is currently being reviewed on the Linux kernel mailing list for adding support for the Gameforce Ace. Just over 1,003K lines of new 1.3K lines of new device tree YAML files are needed for getting this budget ARM handheld device running on the mainline Linux kernel. Now, there's 9 comments here, but there's one that stood out to me, and this is where the Steam Deck is just. The Steam Deck has the support system behind it, but this one comment here, I'm just going to read one of them, and this is from Pee Wee. He said this: more upstream support is good, but this particular device seems underwhelming for the price. I realize the base 64 gig Steam Deck is 50% more powerful, 50% more expensive, but jumping from A76/A55 to Zen 2 plus RDNA 2 is huge, not to mention the better Linux support. And the Gameforce, that's the end of the comment. And the Gameforce is, I mean, this is like a low-end handheld, but this handheld is going to need support. You know, this handheld is going to need support and funding, you know, when it comes to getting this handheld on the market. And it costs $270. But for the specs that it's coming with, I would say it's better than the Switch right now. You know, better than the Switch. So yeah, because it has analog D-pad, 2 buttons, analog, 2 button, and then it got the screen, and then it says Gameforce. So yeah, it's an ARM handheld, and this has with Android. So you know the emulation community gonna be loving this. So we'll see what they think when they see this video. So other than that, man, it comes with a 5.5 inch 1080p IPS display. It has a TF card slot, M.2 NVMe support. Probably could use a docking station. Then it has 128 gigs of eMMC storage and 8 gigs of LPDDR4. But there's another model that has 12 gigs. Yeah, so that means if this costs $230, then the other one probably costs about 3 something, or a little or 4, somewhere around there. So yeah, the Gameforce, folks, it's here. I mean, another handheld to the market. But based on the comment I just read, though, the Steam Deck, the Steam Deck is no pushover by any means, man. It's a force to be reckoned with. You know, the Gameforce it's Linux based, so that will go with the Orange Pi and also the Steam Deck. So Linux gamers got something they can use, you know, or mess with if they want to, or if they choose to. But other than that, yeah, the Gameforce is here, man. Yeah, 270. You have one for 230, and then one for 270. You got 230 model, that's 8 gigs of RAM. Sorry about that. And then 270 for the one with the 12 gigs of RAM. So yeah, yeah. This. We'll see what the Linux community think when it comes to this handheld. But yeah, Valve said we couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. The handheld manufacturers is like, okay, we got something to say about that too. Look what's happening. So yeah. Other than that, man, yeah, another handheld to the market, the Gameforce Ace. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars, Star Trek fan, board, dark section. Go. Peace. Oh.